Since its takeover of Afghanistan, the Taliban have been coming down heavily on the women in the country and restricting their freedom and rights with every new move. Just a few days after the Taliban-run government ordered the universities to suspend classes for women until further notice, it has now ordered all the local and international non-governmental organizations, that is NGOs, to stop their female employees from coming to work, according to a letter by the Ministry of Economy sent to all licensed NGOs. A letter from the Economy Ministry, confirmed by spokesperson Abdul Rahman Habib, said that the female employees of non-governmental organizations were not allowed to work until further notice because some had not adhered to the administration's interpretation of Islamic dress code for women. A few days back, the Taliban government's order to close the universities for women had prompted global condemnation and sparked some protests and heavy criticisms inside Afghanistan. Both the decisions are the latest restrictions on women that are likely to undermine the Taliban-run administration's efforts to gain international recognition and clear sanctions that are severely hampering the economy. International aid agency Afghan Aid said that it was immediately suspending operations while it consulted with other organizations and that other NGOs were taking similar actions. The potential endangerment of aid programs that millions of Afghans access comes when more than half the population relies on humanitarian aid, according to aid agencies, and during the mountainous nation's coldest season. Aid workers say that female workers are essential in a country where rules and cultural customs largely prevent the male workers from delivering aid to female beneficiaries. United Nations and various other international organizations have condemned the latest order of the Taliban government. The statement by the United Nations read, "Women must be enabled to play a critical role in all aspects of life, including the humanitarian response. Banning women from work would violate the most fundamental rights of women as well as be a clear breach of humanitarian principles. This latest decision will only further hurt those most vulnerable, especially women and girls." It also added that it would try to obtain a meeting with Taliban leadership to seek clarity. UNICEF said that the order was an egregious rollback of rights for girls and women that will have sweeping consequences on the provision of health, nutrition, and education services for children. UNICEF stands with every girl and woman in Afghanistan and demands that the Taliban immediately allow all women humanitarians to resume their life-saving work for vulnerable families and communities. UNICEF South Asia's regional director, George Laria Ajay, tweeted. Amnesty International called for the ban to be reversed immediately and for the Taliban to stop misusing their power. Though the Taliban has repeatedly claimed that it would protect the rights of girls and women, it has in fact done the opposite, stripping away the hard-won freedom they have fought tirelessly for over the past 2 decades. Some of its most striking restrictions have been around education, with girls barred from returning to secondary schools in March.
Subscribe to One India channel and never miss an update.